Let me tell you why it's maybe possible for Donald Trump to actually be a great president. Hear me out. Hear me out. Don't unsubscribe yet. Let me just hear me out. I think Donald Trump is a megalomaniac, a narcissist who is so conceited and so worried about how people see him and how people view him that he can care less about ideology one bit. Ideology means nothing to him. The only thing that matters to Donald Trump is being enshrined in American history as a great president. That's it. I don't think anything else drives him. I don't think he cares one bit about the Republican ideology and their goals, except for the fact that he's inept and devoid of any substance, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Therefore, he has to lean on them. All right. So I'm putting this entire conversation in the context of the fact that because he's a buffoon, he needs the Republican infrastructure, and that Republican infrastructure is going to push draconian economic policies, the privatization of Social Security, all of that. However, the thing that will trump, pun intended, all of that is the fact that Donald Trump wants to be remembered and loved and wants, honestly, to be the best president ever. Now, how do you define best? That depends on who you ask. But if you ask Donald Trump, I don't think it's going to be defined in the way the Republicans define it, and it's not going to be the way the Democrats define it. It might be something totally different. So he actually stands a chance of not destroying the world because he's more interested in being loved and remembered as a great man than he is any particular ideology. He will use every ideology from white nationalism to neo-Nazism all the way to something from progressivism. He will use any ideology he can to obtain power. Now that he's got power, he can do whatever the hell he wants to do. And you know what he wants to do? He wants to be even more famous. He wants to do even more bigly things. He wants to be remembered and enshrined. He wants to be on Mount Rushmore. And you can't destroy the earth and get on Mount Rushmore. You can't bankrupt America and get on Mount Rushmore. You can't divide us into a civil war, hyperbolically speaking, obviously, and be on Mount Rushmore. It might work to our favor to have a narcissist and now it could totally backfire too, right? This could all just be complete bullshit. And he could totally backfire and be the most maniacal person we've ever met in the White House, right? But there's a glimmer of hope that maybe not to play to his ego, but to feed his own ego, he would try to do something to be great. Other than that, we could just be totally fucked. I mean, it could be that. So I'm not trying to intentionally be a glass half full guy. I'm just saying there is a possibility that his ego could actually save us from disaster, the disaster that Donald Trump could possibly be. He's not giving us any indication other than he's going to double down on most of his campaign promises. But then I'm sorry, I'm thinking this out as I talk to you, right? So I want to contradict something I just said. He has given us indication. He's not going to prosecute Hillary Clinton. He said he's going to keep an open mind about climate change. So that's a direct contradiction to everything he said in the election. But then you have Steve Bannon, and you have Jeff Sessions, and you have Rudy Giuliani. Like, he has the four horsemen of the dumbpocalypse. So we'll see. I said that to say I hear your predictions, last caller, but it is completely unpredictable. You have so many new factors at play right now that we have never dealt with, that I would be afraid to make predictions. I'm not going to make any prediction other than buckle up for the damn ride, because it's going to be a long 4 years.